Cloud. Well, welcome everyone. We're going to talk about Relay USA and how it all, how we got started and kind of what the event is all about. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Lynn to talk a little bit about some of the history as she was involved from the very beginning.
Thanks, Gina. So, my name is Sarah Lynn Lash, and I am a Relay USA ELT member since the beginning, as Gina said. Um, Relay USA came out of the brainchild of a former ACS staffer who's now with ACS Can, which is really exciting to me. But Joe Prosperi came up with this idea um, at, at a time when ACS was trying to right size the number of events across the nation. So there were events that were closing, other events that were coming up, but Joe's vision was that everyone should be able to have a relay experience no matter how far you are from a physical event. And at that time, I was on the national relay team doing survivor and caregiver, and I got involved because I believe that no matter where you are, you should be able to have that survivor or caregiver experience. So, our first year with Relay USA was, and the vision was to have a virtual event that people could attend. We'd have a website so people could raise money or register and still remain engaged with the American Cancer Society. So our first Relay USA was actually broadcast from Gwinnett County in Georgia, which at that time was the largest relay in the United States. We had the whole ELT at that point were three staff members and two volunteers. So there were three people, boots on the ground that night, and they broadcast from Gwinnett County and would come live and show us different parts of that relay. And it was a very cool experience. But in that time, Relay USA has grown. We've had some change in people and change in, obviously, we were the best game in town when COVID came along. So we've varied in our participation and how we've done things. So giving you just kind of a sampling of what our statistics have looked like over the years. Um, so in 2018, our first year, we had 28 teams, 176 participants, and raised a little over $14,000. During COVID, when it became Relay USA kind of became a telethon for the American Cancer Society. I feel like that's a safe way to describe what happened that year. We had 111 teams, 555 participants, and raised over $75,000. Now, can I just tell you where we were last year? Because this is impressive. We had 69 teams. We had 307 participants, 92 survivors, 92 survivors who may or may not have had a survivor experience otherwise. And we were able to raise $72,000. So in the course of Relay USA, while while we'll never be the biggest game in town, we are the most consistent and most accessible. And so for that, I'm really proud of that and really excited to be part of the team because of that. Does that give us a good history, Gina?
I think that's perfect, Sarah Lynn. Thank you so much. So, to dive a little bit more into Relay USA, of course, as Sarah Lynn said, you can relay from anywhere. It can be in your house, it can be at your workplace, it can be, anywhere across the country, across the globe. We are, for the past few years, we've always been that second Friday in May. We've found that that has worked best for our participants. When I say teams create their own experience, is that teams get involved sort of as much or as little, I won't say as little, but as they want to. There are a lot of teams that might come together and all walk that same day. They might do a Zoom together to hop online. It really depends on if the team is spread out or if they are, if all their members are local. I also say that teams create their own experience because we have a lot of individuals that participate in Relay USA as well as their own a local relay. So we have people that participate in both. And then we also have people that just participate in Relay USA too. We are an online community. We'd like to try to do some activities throughout the year to bring people together so that even though individuals might not be going to a local event, they can interact with other survivor and caregivers. They can interact with other team members and things. We also have a great following on Facebook as well. We also, of course, to have that relay spirit, we do ceremonies. They are broadcast on our Facebook page and on YouTube, but we do those elements that a relay has. We have an opening ceremony, a survivor and caregiver ceremony, luminaria, and closing. We've also done a remembrance ceremony, a fight back ceremony. We also have an ACS, like an advocacy presentation as well. So that's a little bit more sort of just another dive into Relay USA. But we always welcome anyone to participate in it. Even if you participate in a local event, you can still participate in our virtual event too, because it's really just about people coming together and sharing and that experience. This year, our event is going to be on Friday, May 9th. I say time to be determined. We have in the past run from 7 to 10, but last year we started at 6:40 because it was ACS's, Relay for Life's 40th anniversary, and we did some ceremonies on that sort of 40 of the hour, just to highlight that, 40th year of impact. So we're still figuring out what exact times we will be. But we're usually always in that evening time frame. We do have our own website, which all the relays do. We're relayforlife.org/relay USA. You can always find some information on there. We're in the process of putting on, doing some different things to it. That's our Facebook page. So please feel free to like us on Facebook so you can follow Relay USA. And then we do have a YouTube channel as well. And all of our past ceremonies are housed on our YouTube page. If you go to the YouTube page and you pull down playlists, you can see all the ceremonies for 2025, all the ceremonies for 2024, and things like that. This is sort of a sample schedule that we've done in the past. This was last year's schedule. So all times when we put the times out, we do say that they're all in Eastern time. But like you said, we had our opening ceremony. We had like a survivor and caregiver celebration. We did some advocacy updates. Then we had a remembrance ceremony, luminaria, fight back, closing. I'm not sure if it will be that same order for this year. We're still working all of that out, but we will keep our participants. We send out emails and things just like a local relay does to keep everybody sort of in tune with what's going on, and then we put it out on Facebook too. Joe, did you have a question? I saw that you raised your hand.
I do. If go back the slide, the date. I
Sure.
think you need. I think you need to update that
Oh,
to May 8th,
2026.
and it's May 8th.
Yes. You know what? It is funny. I used a slide from last year's team captains meeting. I was putting things together and I've looked at it so many times. I thought I caught everything and made all the changes. And a couple people have looked at it too. And I will admit this, I always will make some sort of typo in a PowerPoint presentation that I put on during a meeting. I don't know what it is. There will always be one. The whole thing could be great, but there will be one. So Joe, thank you so much. Yes, we are Friday, May 8th, 2026. Oh goodness. Well, yeah, so we'll change that and put that out. But yes. Thank you, Joe, so much. So like I said, those were our sample, sort of the times for our ceremonies. On Relay USA event day, we do encourage our teams to maybe host like a get together on some virtual platform. We've also encouraged some teams, if they want, they can invite an ELT member to drop in and say hello and things. We encourage, of course, to get that relay spirit and to go out and walk. So it could be your neighborhood, it could be in your home. If you're, doing it as a corporate team, you could do it in your workplace. We love it when people, sometimes coordinate what they're wearing too. And we also encourage people to send in photos to us of what their team, has doing and as look like. We, of course, to, do a team fundraising challenge. And what relay, relay sometimes is always about the food. So we do encourage our teams and participants, to get some snacks while they're watching some ceremonies and, while they're, taking maybe some walks around. We also encourage, like I said, coordinate outfits. If you're walking around your neighborhood, you have your relay shirt on. People might see you, ask what it's about, talk to your neighbors, collect donations, different things. And then, of course, snap photos and share, why you participate on social media. And people have sent us in photos too, and then we've put them onto our Facebook page the next day, highlighting them as a team. When we say sort of preparing for our ceremonies, because it is all virtual. So, when you are in a local event, that survivor and caregiver celebration, you're taking, to the track and walking all together. Or if you're honoring your teams and doing a parade of teams. So we try to do that as best we can. And we encourage our team captains that, to send in a photo that represents their team. And we do a slideshow of our parade of teams, announcing their team name, having that photo in there. We also encourage our survivor and caregivers to send in photos, and we put those in a slideshow as well. And we also encourage people to dedicate a luminaria because we do light the bags, and Chris will talk about that a little bit later. I say more details coming soon because as a leadership team for Relay USA, we're always trying to, as a local relay, as a relay does, you have some things that you always do as tradition, and then you try to change some things up every year. So we're also thinking, we might have people send in some more video clips, different things like that. So we're still putting sort of that ask together, and we send that out in some emails before the event, as well as put it up on Facebook too. These are just sort of some of the sample slides of what things look like. Um, we say so that people can see their photos. This is from our caregiver and survivor celebration. This was luminaria. We write the messages. People purchase a luminaria online, they can put a tribute message in there, so we put that on the slide. Robin, who is another leadership team member, she decorates all the bags and puts those together. This was one of our team captains' photos. So Jean is one of our top team captains. Her team is the voice of hope, and she sent in that photo to represent her team. For our fight back ceremony, we did what's called a hope ceremony, and this is participant Teresa Miller, who and so, we did slides of the different hope ceremony, and we had people record some videos and send it in to us. So it's just a little sample of what some of those look like. We're going to show a little bit more in a little bit. And I'm going to turn it over to Chris now to talk about Luminaria.
Thanks, Gina. So, one of the elements, one of the ceremonies that is very impactful, every Relay for Life tries to do specific ceremonies, and we encourage, or it's been encouraged over the years, to make sure that you keep those up no matter where you're relaying. And so, one of the very impactful ceremonies is the Luminaria. And the Luminaria ceremony is not any different, but it's different for Relay USA. We include the same impact that everyone has at in-person events, even though we're virtual. And as Gina said a little bit earlier, Robin decorates the bags. She collects all the names, gets all of the bags physically ready, just like would be done at an in-person event. She stages them in and around her residence, and she takes a video or she records all of the luminaria. She scans across them very silently, very in a vigilant manner, in a respectful manner, and it gets put towards some really wonderful music, and the impact is there as if you were in person at a live relay event. We have worked really hard over the years to try and increase the luminaria that we get. And this year we're going to really push to try and get one from at least every 50 states, every 50 of the states. And more is more impactful, obviously, but even if we only have 50, it still makes a huge impact. And I think we have a really great luminaria ceremony. And as Gina showed on the samples of the slides that we do, individuals are also able to submit pictures if they wish, or Robin will take pictures of the luminaria and then we put them on the slides if there's notes that people want to have included in the slideshow, just as if you would do that at a live luminaria ceremony.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. And you can see this is one of the sample bags that Robin has decorated. We also participate in the Luminari Exchange. So we have a Relay USA bag that Robin has created for us. And then we got Brad, one of the from the Luminari Exchange. We got a bag from the Santa Clarita Relay. So I put a picture of that in there, which is awesome. So we incorporate those bags too. Hopefully this will play. We're not gonna watch the whole thing because we'd be here for like 15 minutes. But this is just a sample of some of the slideshow that we do for Luminaria. It is set to music when we do broadcast it live. So you can see we include the name, the notes, and a picture of the bag so that people can see their individual bag decorated. And then we also as Chris said too, Robin sets the bags all up and then and when in the evening and then films them as walking, while she's walking around so that, you have that feel of being, on the track for that ceremony and seeing the bags lit. This is just a sample. Robin does a couple clips of them and then we put them all together during the ceremony itself. Cool. Um, we also, like I said before, we try to build community because everyone is so spread out. So we love it when people are able to get together and share. So we do have a survivor and caregiver brunch. It is over Zoom. And this year it's going to be on Saturday, February 28th at 11 a.m. We have survivors and caregivers join. We always have a guest speaker. We have some breakout rooms where people can share about their experiences and things. This year's Relay USA theme, and we're going to be announcing this on Facebook, is Relay Around the World. And so we have Jacob Kraus. I think that's how you say his last name. Am I correct with that? Jacob from Canada. He'll be our guest speaker, and we're bringing in some other global heroes of hope to share their experiences and to have that sort of network and connection during some of the breakout rooms. So we're bringing in that experience too. Come January at the beginning of the year, we'll be sending out emails announcing it with a link to RSVP in there, and we'll also put it on Facebook too. For the survivor and caregiver brunch, individuals, well, to participate in all of Relay USA things, you don't necessarily have to be registered for Relay USA. We do encourage it so that you can get all of our communications, but we also put it out on Facebook too. So for survivor and caregiver brunch, we do have a lot of survivors and caregivers that participate that are registered participants in Relay USA, but then we have a lot of others that join us that participate in a local event, but want to just network and share with others. Chris, I'm going to turn it back over to you for Relay First Lap.
One of my favorite days is the first or second Saturday in January, which has been traditionally Relay First Lap. And this was created several years ago by Joe Gillette. And it was a way to kind of kick off the relay season and get people excited and ready and geared up to start relay planning, figuring out their teams, getting participants registered, starting your fundraising. And it's just a really great way for people to come together over the internet and do something at one time in one specific day. And so we participate in Relay First Lap, just like everybody, all other relayers do. And it even has gone global. And there are global relays that participate in Relay First Lap. And so it's really a great way for us to be participating in something that the rest of the country is doing. A lot of events, sometimes they'll get together and they'll have someplace like in their local park or at a shopping mall or something, and their teams will come together or some of their participants will come together and kick off their first lap together. We, as a virtual event, try to also do that. And so at some point during the day, we take our lap around our living rooms, around our blocks, around our homes. One year I had to go up and down my driveway because it was so icy. I just had to be careful. I couldn't go very far. And so you just do it wherever you can do it, just like everybody else is encouraged to do. And again, it's a really great way for us to participate and be part of that larger global relay community. And it's a great way for us to also get excited, announce, maybe what's happening or what our theme might be, what our plans are for the year. And it's just a great way to engage everybody. And then to also include um, encouraging people to get registered. You don't have to just not have an event to be part of Relay USA. You can have a local event and you can also participate with Relay USA. So we do a lot of encouraging around that time as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. I have that date right. We also, to interact with our participants a little bit more, we created this a few years ago. That's Hope, and we call her Hope's Journey, and we encourage people to, print her out on cardstock and, cut her out and take them to, if they're having a team meeting or if they're, doing an advocacy initiative or they're having a fundraiser to take some photos and share those with us. Last year, and we'll probably do it again this year, we did send a Hope out to each one of our team captains so that they had it to use. And then we highlight some of those photos around. It came, there's that concept within the elementary schools, Flat Stanley. So we took it, to be used for Relay USA so that it's a way to, highlight the different things that some of our teams and our participants do around the country and highlight that, but to bring it, all together too. Just some, and we'll be going into more fundraising ideas in our January meeting, but we encourage people, of course, to fundraise, just like, in your relay. Oh my God, I just messed that up. But yes, we encourage people to fundraise, but you can do it, you can do some things virtually, like hosting a game. Some people do a virtual bag bingo, or we'll do a virtual, get together and have people pay a fee or things like that. But it doesn't necessarily have to be depending upon where your team members are and different things. You can also do some things individually. We do have some relayers that get sponsorships and they sponsor Relay USA. We have some people that fundraise as a team and do a local fundraiser and then donate those funds. We have some relays that, or some participants that will do a restaurant night in their local area. It benefits their team and then they give that money to Relay USA. So it can be in that virtual space, but it also can still be in person, the fundraising too. And we have a wide variety of different things. We also have a team that does a sort of a mini relay at their camp, and then they donate the funds through Relay USA too. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Lynn because when we talk about Relay USA, these are some of the things that if you sign up for Relay USA, you can be doing right now.
Thanks, Gina. Yeah, so to me, we gave you some information and it's like, okay, if I want to jump right in, what can I be doing right now? Like I don't want to wait till next year. So we can register our teams and uh, again, it's relayforlife.org/Relay USA. Something I love about Teams for Relay USA is I don't know about you, but I have family all over the United States. Um, we're never all going to be at one relay together, but for Relay USA, we could all be on a team together. Like you could do a true family team across the time zones and across the distance. something you can do. And I think everybody on this call seems like a hardcore relayer, so you know you can customize your team page in your personal page. And when you do that, it makes Relay that much more personal. Um, Recruiting team members. And didn't I just say, like, now we can think outside of our little geographic circle, right, to recruit your team members and organize your team. However, you could still do a team at your workplace like you would do for a traditional relay. You could do a team at your church. You could do a team of your family and friends. But you can also expand that and do it differently too. So ask, and we use the word recruit here, but seriously, ask survivors and caregivers to be part of your team. And I think that this part is where the time and distance doesn't matter enough as much. Like, what if I have a great aunt in Florida who is a cancer survivor and she'd never be here in Ohio with me to walk a lap, but she could be part of Relay USA and be a survivor with us and have that survivor experience. And by the way, survivors do get their survivor shirts when they participate in Relay USA. Um, so think about potential sponsorship opportunities too. This is honestly a new area for us. So it's exciting to see that taking off and seeing relayers who are asking and gaining those sponsorships. And then obviously when Chris covered it, make your plans for Relay First Lap. Like, no, hey, I'm going to be here if I want to print out a sign that says I'm taking my first lap from here, because in Relay USA, you could literally be anywhere. So, like, make your plan. And if you're able to meet up with a couple people to make it more fun and part of your community, do it. Um, or don't be afraid to go live on your own personal social media either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, make your plan, be prepared. And also, something I would add to this slide is now that you know who we are, ask us questions. Ask us anything you need to be able to feel comfortable in this relaying in this space and getting started.
Awesome. Thank you. And this is our Relay USA ELT for this year. Robin Campbell, Christina Doe, who's on the call with us, Russell Keeler, Donna Kemberling, Sarah Lynn, who's on the call with us, Debbie McDonald, Heidi Varner, and then myself as the staff partner. And we're always welcome to share ideas, hop on different things. Everyone who's on the Relay USA ELT committee or on the leadership team has done local events, has done Relay USA, has also been a part of a lot of national groups too. So we're always here for different ideas and sharing as well. So always feel free to you can reach out to us. I'm going to take us off of the slideshow so we can all see each other and then open it up for any questions or comments or anything like that. Awesome. Cool. So, Brad, Joe, do you have any questions about Relay USA? Anything that we can answer for you? Do you feel like this gave you a better overview of what the event is all about?
Definitely. I have to say, to start off with, I'm thrilled. This is a very cool idea, and I didn't even know that you guys were existing. So I mean, it's hot. Uh, I'm on the actually one of the one of the leads for the Western region, and so which Robin is part of that as well. So I'm quite familiar with Robin. She's an amazing person. Um, but I I had no idea she was part of this. So anyway, my big question was how the luminaria worked, which you guys explained beautifully. And I mean, you've got everything down to a T.
I will say the leadership team works very well. We're always looking for people to join our leadership team, but we have, we've asked our participants about different things that they're looking for, and we try to make everyone sort of feel included because and that's why we ask for photos and the luminaria to get, to get people and, to get people together.
And Brad, something that we didn't mention during our presentation, in addition to no matter like if Relay isn't close to you, we all know survivors who, if you're in treatment, you might not be able to be in a large crowd.
Hmm.
And Relay USA can be that stopgap for the year that you're in treatment and you're not able to go to Relay. And then you're welcome, you're welcome, encouraged to
Yeah.
rejoin your home event as well. Like it's not a lifetime commitment. We're not trying to take people away, but we're trying to give them that experience if they need to have it for any reason.
Hmm.
And to me, I
Yeah. That.
think one of the greatest parts about being on the CLT is we have all participated in our own local events at some point,
Mm.
and we have such a breadth of different experiences that we've had or that we've been able to be part of, not only in our local events, but even if we've visited other events. And we can bring some of those ideas back to Relay USA and adapt them to the virtual world, which is really awesome.
I do a lot of go to a lot of different events around our area and up in Northern California, different things on there. And I said one thing. I said I've never been to an event, no matter what size the event is. I've never been to an event that I haven't brought something back with me. Say, I'm stealing that.
We call it lightly lifting.
Yeah. So, so
Yeah,
I
it's
mean that's
awesome.
and then and that's a small pool from what we've got here in California. You guys are able, from all over the country.
Yeah, and last year at our event, or last year, all of our participants, we had representation from 43 states, including Washington, D.C. So people are really all over.
Okay. Well,
Any
this is
other
very
questions, comments, thoughts?
no. I mean, you answered everything that I needed that I was curious about,
Awesome.
and I'm just thrilled that you are.
Well, that's great. We're glad that you're here. And my email address is on the website, and it's just like Abby's. It's your first name, last name at cancer.org. So it's
Yeah.
gina.patetti at cancer.org if you have other further questions. And I can always put you in touch with Sarah Lynn or Chris, and Robin. So you can always get some additional info too.
Hmm. Well, very good.
Awesome.
And thank you
Nice
for
job, you guys.
inviting.
Thank you.
Um,
And thank you two for joining us tonight.
Yes,
Yes,
Like
we
yes.
it's
appreciate
our
it very
pleasure
much.
to talk about something that we love so much.
Yeah.
hmm
And
Well,
thank you for letting us record it too and being part of
and get doing it for so long when it's when you hear something that is new to you, that's exciting. So that's very nice.
Well, it was
Okay.
very nice to meet you, Brad, and
it.
it's always nice to see you, Joe.
Hmm.
It was awesome. Nice meeting you, Brad. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for being on.
Thank
Sarah
you
Lynn
guys.
and Chris, thank you so much. Any other, before we sign off or anything, any other questions, comments? Sarah Lynn, Chris,
Happy
anything to
holidays.
add? What's that,
Oh,
Joe?
Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. I can't even believe it is December and we're going to be in 2026 in like 3.5 weeks.
absolutely.
Yes,
And ready to kick off first lap.
that's it.
Hmm.
Very much so. Well, everyone, let me stop this recording here really quickly first.